What's poppin', fam? Sean Don coming back with a video training log update. Program 0 2022. It's been a long while. So, I mean, we got about 15, 20 minutes, who knows, ahead of us. So let's get into it. Program 0, first training program. Not even technically first training program, but there's a reason why I call it Program 0. It's kind of the program I do before I actually start official training. So this is kind of like getting in shape before I'm ready to get in shape, because if I just hopped into a normal training program after not doing much for 2 months, it's really gonna beat me up. So yeah, Program 0, very basic stuff. Throwing at this point, Program 0 is literally the bare minimum. It's I literally do like a general active dynamic warm-up. I take like a set of lines, 10 reps each side, left, right, whatever, clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever you want to call it. And then I just started throwing. Really no purpose, no direction. Like the only purpose is to throw, to have fun, to be mindless. That's kind of it. So this stuff is there's really no technical directions. It's literally just letting the feeling of the hammer come back to me without kind of forcing it. Of course, starting as slow as I can, letting the feelings, like I said, kind of find me, not putting too much emphasis or any emphasis on distance at all. So through the first 2 days, super easy. You could tell there was kind of definitely some disconnection, and it had been a while. I think at this point I hadn't thrown for, I want to say, nearly 2 months. It's 8 weeks. It's the longest time I've ever taken off, you know, post-season. Of course, this 2021 season, the Olympic trials, was heartbreaking. That's for another video. So I really want to take some time off and enjoy life and do normal things, honestly. So that's why I took such a long time off throwing. So it's definitely going to be a while until I'm back into shape like I was. But even over the course of these, I think it was technically 10 sessions over 4 weeks, feelings came back pretty quick, and I you know, distance did come relatively fast, even though I know that wasn't the focus. Kind of the one big thing that I did focus on during this Program 0 was kind of a little experiment. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but if you do, you'll see that I switched my startup and my throw from, you know, slightly to the right of center, left foot at 0, to more centered, meaning that 0 was kind of in between my left and right feet. I wanted to see if that would kind of help me find direction, find some consistency, you know, something that I've kind of been lacking over the past year, or I should say over the past season. And yeah, so I kind of started that about session 3. It felt good at first, and then it even felt good through like session 4 and 5. Session 5 was probably one of the best sessions of the entire program in terms of feeling and energy. Of course, I was a little bit fresher. I was only throwing about 2 times to 3 times a week. I think 2 times a week for the first 2 weeks, and then 3 times a week for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, so that session 5, I was a little fresher than usual. I'll go over what I was doing in lifting in the weight room a little bit later. But that kind of center start technical experiment, as you guys can see, like I said, after session 5 kind of went downhill, lost kind of connection, timing was a little bit off. Even session 10 was kind of the true test. Just it didn't turn out like I thought it would. So, you know, I think I could have guessed the actual, you know, answer of what would have happened with that experiment before the experiment, which was stick with my original technique. That's the technique that I've been developing for 2 years. I've started kind of right of center for literally almost my entire career. Yeah, probably should just stick with that. And that's kind of what the experiment proved. And I'm hoping that this 3rd year of kind of grooving in the same feelings and the same start and the same rhythm and all that stuff with this kind of right of center start, or as I call it, staggered start, or whatever you want to, you know, label it yourself. I'm hoping that this 3rd year will kind of really help me refine those techniques and those feelings to really help improve the consistency that I'm looking for. And then otherwise, I mean, now that you guys are, you know, 5 minutes into the video, you guys have seen some of the lifting and stuff like that. It's a little bit out of order because I am rusty making these videos. It's been at least a year, year and a half, COVID, all that stuff. YouTube videos have been really on the back burner. I really just wanted to focus on being an athlete for, you know, leading up to the Olympics, and I got to do that. And now I'm kind of looking forward to going back to a little bit of balance of being, you know, the social media content creator, you know, whatever you want to call it, in addition to an athlete. I want to have a little bit better work-life balance this year because I enjoy doing this stuff. I enjoy kind of creating content for the throwing community in hopes of kind of inspiring and helping future generations of throwers. So excited to get back to doing more of this stuff more often. So a little rusty, bear with me, I'm doing my best here. Give me a month and I'm sure I'll be back to normal, you know, good as gold. Yeah, so like I said, lifting's a little bit out of order. You got to see a day 3 and day 4, and you'll see day 1 and day 2 coming up soon. But the point of this Program Zero lifting session is really just to get back in shape. I had been doing some kind of bodybuilding lifting over my 2 months off of throwing, but really not that high intensity, a little bit different than usual, not many athletic movements. This was kind of sticking with a little bit of that bodybuilding lifting, but then introducing some more general prep, sort of energy system development stuff. So as you guys saw, day 3 was deadlift and you know, reverse hyper, just basic posterior chain stuff. And then I think day 3 lifting was general cardio circuit, tempo circuit, something I got from Chad Wesley Smith. A thing that just kind of helps build general aerobic fitness, prehab, you know, core stuff. Then day 4 was upper body vertical push and pull, so dumbbell shoulder press and pull-ups. And then shoulder stuff, which is my favorite thing, getting swole, getting those glazy delts. Really enjoy that stuff. So that's one thing that I really enjoyed over my time off, was getting kind of back into the hypertrophy lifting, because I do enjoy feeling swole. That's kind of why I got into throwing in the first place. So it was nice to enjoy that break a little bit and get in better shape, lose some weight. And then yeah, my conditioning circuit for day 4 was a 30-second lactate circuit. This is something I got from Cal Dietz. 30 seconds with like moderate load, I think 70-80%, 30-second isometric. You hold it, you get a little nice burn going, and really build some nice stability. I find that like long duration isometrics, whether it's 30 seconds or, as you'll see on day 2, 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes, makes my tendons and joints and stuff feel pretty good. Outside of just this cycle being good for work capacity and general fitness, it also is just a really nice tune-up to get my body kind of freshened up from, you know, a year of beating it down. Like I said, kind of getting the tendons and joints and all that stuff kind of back up to snuff, if you will. So yeah, this is the start of week 4 that you guys are looking at right now. And day 1 lifting, as you can see, back squats, dumbbell rear foot elevated split squats. And then I did not get to film a recent contralateral circuit, my conditioning circuit for the day. That's more aerobic energy system development, but you'll get to see it from a previous YouTube video that I filmed, because this is stuff I've been doing, you know, since 2016, 2017. Yeah, so like I said, nothing really too fancy with this training program. For the main lifts, or I should say the typical lifts, I kind of did like just a linear periodization, kind of going down, starting with high reps, working my way down, adding load, kind of as my body allows. Not really pushing it too hard, but pushing it harder than I was previous to getting back to Program Zero. Yeah, and then as you guys can see here, here's aerobic contralateral circuit. Like I said, this is a Cal Dietz thing. Talk about a thing that really gets my body feeling good. It really kind of unwinds all of the tension in my body, because you're kind of training opposite sides of the body at the same time. So like an upper push with the lower body pull, or you know, a lunge with a band press, stuff like that. Training the contralateral slings of the body, and it's a thing, like I said, makes me feel really good. It gets my glutes super activated. It's kind of general healthy bullshit, and it also just happens to fit the general theme of the program, which is getting back into shape. That stuff, you know, kind of paid off. Having started Program 1 this week while I'm recording this, I'm definitely feeling in very good shape, even though I did kind of take a strong deload week. And by strong deload week, I mean I didn't really do anything because I was traveling multiple times. And but yeah, you know, first week of Program 1, and it seems like I'm feeling in very good shape. Throwing volume doesn't seem to bother me that much. Lifting, higher intensity, more volume, I'm recovering plenty well between sets. So that kind of work capacity, general fitness development, energy system development, whatever you want to call it, paid off. So everything's going to plan so far. And yeah, so this is day 2. Yes, day 2, week 4, upper body, chest, and or I should say push and pull. I did a chest fly because I had a little pec tweak, dumbbell bench pressing. So I figured I'd lighten the load a little bit, work on the range of motion, and then a cable low row, and then biceps and triceps. So this isn't typical stuff that I think a hammer thrower, you know, does, but it's like I said, stuff that I enjoy. And I mean, after doing it for like 2 to 3 months, I wouldn't recommend doing it that long. But it is a thing that I think has its place. Like I said, training the muscles in a different sort of rep range and working the, you know, lactate anaerobic system a little bit more, I think has its benefits. And the day 2 conditioning circuit, as you guys see here, is 5-minute isometrics, body weight, very low load, very high volume. Like I said, 5 minutes for essentially one muscle group you'll see. So like a dumbbell bench press, a split squat, and then prone row, and just some other odds and ends, training specific muscle groups. Like I said, really feeling that burn, developing the lactate energy system, lactate tolerance, stuff that helps recovery in between sets and in between training sessions. So very beneficial, I think, in my opinion. And to be fair, I did go, like I said, I was traveling the last week of the training cycle, week 5, during when I was deloading, and I took a trip to Yosemite. I was hiking, so I wanted to be in good shape for that, so I could go actually enjoy a trip in nature rather than just hiking around and feeling like I'm dying all the time, because hiking is probably one of my favorite hobbies outside of throwing, but unfortunately they're very kind of counterproductive. You know, being good at throwing and being good at hiking, 2 totally different things. That's kind of also why I enjoyed doing the work capacity stuff. And so now you guys are seeing session 10, my slam session, kind of my test for program 0. After not really throwing hard, and volume was pretty low, frequency was pretty low, didn't have big expectations. Like I said, mostly I just wanted to ride out session 10 as like a higher intensity test for the center start technique experiment that I was describing earlier. Like I said, it didn't really pan out too well. My farthest throw of the day was from a center start, but it was, you know, 4 throws into the session, 5 throws into the session, so I was a little bit fresher. I think I threw 76 meters with the 14-pound hammer. Compared to like earlier in the program, I think I started out, I was barely breaking 60 meters. After a week or 2, I was between 65 and 70. And then the last 2 weeks, depending on how fatigued I was anywhere between 65 and like 72-ish, which is quite far off from what I'm used to in terms of a program 0 over the past 3 years. I use my program 0 mark as a kind of guide for like how far I should throw in season with a competition ball. So whether I'm throwing a 14 or a 6K or a 15, I generally think that program 0 mark is a goal to hit in season. But with how much I detrained over the summer, like I said, 2 months without throwing, my body is very, very raw. I haven't done any specific core work and done any technical drill work, anything like that. This is literally just throwing. This is about as raw as it gets. So throwing 76 meters with a 14-pound hammer. In previous years, I think last year I hit 81 meters with the 15-pound hammer. The year before that, I think, what was it? I think it was, you know, 82 with the 6K or something like that. And it goes to show that stuff doesn't really matter. As I've gotten older, I try to put more and more emphasis on program 0 being in better shape for it. And that's kind of disingenuous, and it doesn't really work like that. So this is about, like I said, it's about as raw of a measure as I can get. So 76 with the 14 from the center start. I took about, I think, 8 throws from the center start, and then switched to my normal staggered start. And then all of a sudden things clicked. Feeling was good. Ball was long and stretchy going around the left. It was very good. Consistency, I think I took 6 throws. All 6 throws are pretty much down the middle. And then, I mean, a few did hit the cage, but these hammer cages at the training center aren't exactly 2 specs. So that right cage door is a little bit close, and it clips the cage, knocks off a meter or 2. So my center start throws, or staggered start throws, pardon me, 74, 75-ish. And then you can see a nice little deadlift max there. It wasn't really planned, but I wanted to get a test for future cycles. 220K, beltless, nothing crazy. I'm not a super strong thrower, as you guys know if you've been following me for a while. And then yeah, I just want to give you guys a little technique comparison. First throw, day 1, to my best throw, in my opinion, on session 10. Quite the difference. You can see kind of the body weight change. I was dieting down this whole time. I went from like 250 pounds down to 240, 238-ish, depending on the day. So yeah, it feels good to be back in shape and fit, ready for another year of training. Yeah, so that's kind of it. Thanks for watching, guys. This is program 0. Plans for the future. I want to do, you know, training program recaps at the end of each program, kind of outlining, highlighting stuff along the way. I want to get back to some Sean Don knowledge bomb stuff. So I got some other I got some other ideas planned. And yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Happy to be back doing this stuff. Drop some comments down below if you guys got any questions, anything you guys want to see, anything you guys want answered. Let me know. Yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to, you know, like, subscribe, do all the normal things that YouTubers ask you to do. Share it. Share it, especially if you found any value in this video. You know, share it with a friend, just one friend. That's all. Just copy the link, paste it, send it to anybody. That's it. That's all I ask. Yeah, that's it. Until next time. I don't know what video is going to be next. Maybe Program 1 recap. Maybe, you know, a random Sean Don knowledge bomb. We'll see. So, that's it. Enjoy. Happy to be back. I've said that already. It doesn't matter. I should probably stop rambling now. Peace out.